Kitchen. I'm Kate. Today we're going to make Scarborough Faire rolls. And yes, that is like Are You Going to Scarborough Faire? Our first step is to take 1 cup of milk and add it to our mixing bowl. And add also to that 1 very level tablespoon of yeast. That's fast-acting yeast. We're going to stir it around, get it mixed up real well, and then we're going to just let it proof for about 5 minutes till it gets real bubbly and active, and then we'll know the yeast is ready to go to work. So we'll be back as soon as it's all ready to go. While it's proofing, I'm going to go ahead and let you know what else is going to go into this recipe. It's a very, very simple bread recipe I got from my friend Mary over at Mary's Nest. You ought to look her up. She's got some wonderful, wonderful recipes and some good classes. Okay, what we have here, the milk that I put in was 1 cup of milk, and I put the yeast in, which was the 1 tablespoon of yeast. Next I have a tablespoon of sugar. In here I have a half a teaspoon of salt. I have an 1/8 of a teaspoon of parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme. Then I have 4 tablespoons of butter, which we're going to add in here, and 4½ cups of bread flour. Now, the reason we call this Scarborough Faire roll is because of the parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme. The basic recipe that Mary has does not have that. It only has salt and sugar. It doesn't have the herb. But I like to add the difference and make it a savory, more savory bread. So as soon as this gets done, we're going to mix these other things in and start up our dough hook and add the flour 1/2 cup at a time and let it make its own dough. It's not quite ready yet, and it's only been about 1.5 minutes or 2 minutes, so we have a little bit of time to wait.
Well, you can smell the yeast, that's for sure.
It's what?
You can smell the yeast.
Yes, that means it's activating, it's waking up. It's been dry, and now we've got it in nice warm milk and it's waking up. While we were waiting for the yeast to rise, I melted the butter and it's been cooling. So according to the recipe, we need to add our sugar, our herbs, our butter, and 1/2 cup of flour. We're going to be adding the flour in 1/2 cup increments. Now let's raise there. We'll start it off slow so it doesn't throw flour everywhere. And it's incorporating the flour into the liquid. I'm going to stop and add some more flour, another 1/2 cup or so, and turn it back on and let it go again. Now we want to be sure that the flour that's on the edges of the bowl get incorporated as well. So we're going to just scrape down the sides, and we'll add another 1/2 cup of flour, and we'll go again. And we'll continue doing this until it forms a dough that we can remove from the bowl. By adding our herbs to the mix before we put the flour in, they'll be more completely mixed throughout the flour, mixed through the bread. And that way, when you take a bite, no matter what part of the bread you're biting from, you're going to get some yummy, yummy herb flavors. Okay, scrape it down again. And I guess you can hear birds want to be in here cooking. They think they're sous chefs, and anytime I'm in the kitchen, one or all three of them want to be in here and on my shoulders. And it's very hard to work with 3 birds on my shoulders. Here's another ½ cup of flour. And we're just going to keep blending until the dough forms. Okay, it's holding together much better now. Let me get this mess out of the way. And our next step is to place the dough in a greased bowl. Now, I don't like sprayed on cooking spray, like Pam and that kind of thing. I prefer butter. So we have a little bit of this leftover butter that didn't pour out. We're going to spread it around the inside of the bowl, wherever we think the dough is going to touch. And then we're going to take our dough and place it in the bowl and slide it around and be sure that the dough is all covered as well. Just like that. Now we're going to cover it with a tea towel. Place it in a warm spot. Like I usually put it on the cabinet over beside the stove. And we're going to let it rise for an hour or until it doubles in size. So we'll come back when that's done. Hi, our bread has risen. It is now definitely double the size it was. And it's time to form our rolls. Turn it over. Pull out a bit of roll about the size of a hen's egg. There we go. Form it around into a ball and set it in the pan. We're going to go around until we fill up the pan doing just that. After that's done, it'll be allowed to rise again for another 5 minutes, and then it'll go into the oven, where it will cook for 12 to 15 minutes at 425. Put them kind of close together, but not actually touching because they will rise as they cook. What I'm doing is pressing in the middle and bringing the dough around to the inside. And then I squeeze it together, make a round ball with the seam on the bottom and set it in the pan. Depending on the size of these balls that you make, you should get between 12 and 15 rolls out of this batch. I tend to like mine a little bit larger, so I may only get 10, but you never know. And there we are. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 rolls. I'll let them sit covered again for 5 minutes, and I'll put them in the 425-degree oven for 12 to 15 minutes until they're golden brown, and I'll bring them out. Once they're out and ready for you to see, I'll bring you back. All right, I just took a peek and they look wonderful. Are you ready for the surprise? Look at those gorgeous rolls. I just can't wait for them to cool enough for us to take a bite with a little butter and see just how good they are. I'll be back in a minute. We're back, and now Dave's going to try these wonderful rolls from Scarborough Faire.
Scarborough Faire, huh?
Parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme.
Good.
Are you going to
tasty.
Scarborough Fair?
That's very tasty.
Thank you very
Very
much. Well, you've now seen us make Scarborough Fair rolls. Parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme. I hope that you'll come back again next time when we make something else. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the little bell so you get notification of the next one we're going to make. Y'all take care. Bye.